give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV. Tonight it's the RGR ACS Truck Series here live at the Monster Mile tonight for 160 miles of racing action. I'm Dean Doucette. He's Baron Labosco. Baron, the monster in play tonight.
The Monster Mile just in time for Halloween, and this is a great track, Dean. We were talking offline just a little bit ago. What a fun track this is to drive. Driver in control of what we're doing out here. There are no teams. There are no pit strategies. It is simply manage this bitch until you can't.
Yeah, and it's interesting now, Baron, because the trucks are getting loose, right? The rears are wearing out more than the right front, which, you know, is been the thing for a very long time now, that the right front would wear out. So guys are going to have to adjust. This track can get tricky off the corner.
Yeah, loose is about the toughest thing you can encounter at this track. Tight, we know tight's a little bit slower, but it's manageable. Loose, man, coming out of 3 through 4, the way these trucks are going to unload, Dean, the back end is going to want to swing around. And you got to be on top of your game to make sure those hands are moving fast in that cockpit, or the next thing you know, you're off the wall, then you're on the inside wall, then you're back off the top wall again, back to the inside, until you're back on the hook.
Well, the problem is, you know, I'm usually one of the other cars. While you're going from the outside to the inside wall, I'm somewhere in the middle, Barrett, and I'm getting creamed. So, you know, it's tough out here for everybody, but these guys can handle it. Look forward to a good one. We got a good points race going on. Adam Newton retook the points lead. He held it all season. He's last year's champ. Sheffield persevered and took it 2 weeks ago, but last week, issues. Not sure what his issues were. I think they were connection based, but he had some problems. Newton actually had some problems, finishing 11th, Baron, but it was good enough to jump. Now, these points are unofficial. Officially, I think the lead is only about 6 points, 3 to 6 points. I'm not sure. We're showing 7. Nonetheless, Adam Newton right now leading the points.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. Adam's been working real hard. Consistent finishes all year so far. Who could take it from him, Dean? Like, who's really in the driver's seat for this thing? Do you have any ideas or thoughts?
Well, I mean, Sheffield, of course, right? We seen last week Maurer won. Williams has been a model of consistency all year, right? That car's been around the top 5 all year long. So all 4 of these drivers are in play, man.
It's going to be a great ending to this season, but tonight, the Monster Mile, Miles the Monster, is going to have his way with some of these guys tonight. Who's it going to be?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you got to love this place. This is not for everybody, Dover. I mean, but something we've seen last season I want to touch on is Scott Olson. But Olson not here, but interesting, he put out a different line than we've ever seen around here, right? Really high entry, right by the wall in both corners, and then cutting down the track, getting these massive runs. It worked. It was like nothing I ever seen. I'm really interested, Baron, to see if anybody tries that tonight.
I'm sure somebody's going to have a different line, Dean. And, you know, these guys are talented drivers. They'll seek out the grip. They'll find it. And, you know, guys are going to have some good nights. And if you're like me, Dean, I never got my arms complete. I mean, I love the track. I got my arms around it. I just never got good luck with it. So we're going to see some bad luck tonight as well.
Well, hopefully the boys all have good luck. Right now, let's play the national anthem sung by Alicia Shipman.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly
goodness, what a beautiful voice she has. I get jazzed up every time I hear it, Dean. Never gets old.
Never does. Beautiful national anthem, the U.S. national anthem, and a beautiful voice, Alicia Shipman. Of course, it was brought to us by a beautiful person in Mr. Stephen Loomis, the late Stephen Loomis. We all miss him greatly. But hey, we're ready to go racing here at the Monster Mile. I can't wait for it, man. They're already ready to go, so we'll do a quick flash of your grid there. You see Sheffield on the point. They're going to start. It's ready to go. Sheffield and Bruce, Leal and Helm up front.
That's a pretty powerful front row, Dean, as we take the green flag. Who can make that high line work? We've seen it happen before at this track.
Most definitely. Right now, Bruce on the outside, Sheffield down low. This is going to be a good battle. It's real slick out here early. They're going to have to be careful, and it looks like they are.
Yeah, side by side in the front row here, Dean. Darren Bruce really a nice run going into 3. Looks like he's going to clear Sheffield.
Darren Bruce straight to the front he goes. Sheffield falls into second. Leal's up 1. Newton's picked up a couple already. Helm's there, Ratliff, Paul Kay, Claus Williams, and Lance Ripka, your top 10 as the field starts to get single file here. The Toad Man looks like he's trying to find a hole, and he does.
First of all, find a hole.
You got to find them first.
It's going to be a long night, Dean. I'm in a mood.
That's William Gay right behind him, Ledford back there. It's kind of what I expect here. Dover will do this, right? You get single file here early, and then the cars change. The trucks, I should say, change, Barrett. Things change. People start coming forwards. People start fading back. I mean, I once let off so much here that I was almost lapped and came all the way around on the same run to take the lead, Barrett.
Well, that can happen easily at this track. This is a concrete bastard, man. I mean, this thing is tough, and it's fun, but it's very unforgiving. You miss it by a little bit, you miss it by a mile in each end. So guys are going to be searching all night. You're going to see a lot of different lines here, Dean. It's going to be a lot of fun watching who's progressing and who isn't. As Adam Newton has made his way closer to Sheffield here, right? So 4th place.
Absolutely. You know, I was just looking over at the fuel mileage here, Baron. So fuel mileage is, 50 to 55. Well, that's not going to quite cut it for 2 stops, is it? So
not by the math, yeah.
Where's all of our fuel savers? I mean, we look, around the back here and to see is anybody, how about a Ledford or Ricky Williams? I don't know if Ricky's here tonight. Of course, Jason Spear is capable of it for sure. Jason currently in 15th. There's Bartel right in front of him. How aware do you think guys are of this situation, and are they trying to stretch this to, what do you need, 57 laps, I guess, would be about right?
I got to be honest with you, Dean, with this track, I would personally, but of course, I've never won one on fuel mileage. Be concentrating on going fast here and staying out of trouble.
Oh, no! Wow, great save, Greg Ratliff there, and that rear end is angry. I'm not sure if there was contact or not there.
Dean, that's as wrecked as you're going to get wrecked without getting wrecked.
I mean, that is a great save there. That's just quiet hands. People talk a lot about the corrections. Corrections, in my opinion, are overrated to some degree. You see an overcorrection more than you see a correct correction.
That's like hieroglyphics, what you just said to me.
That's right. That's what it's meant to be. It's meant to confuse and disorientate.
Especially the weak ones, right? It worked.
Darren Bruce still leading, Sheffield second.
Yeah, that was saved by Ratliff. My goodness, he drifted the entire 2 turns.
Yeah, it's impressive. And what I meant by that, sure, you understood, Darren. Sometimes you just keep the car pointed in the direction and just ease off the throttle. She'll come back to you. You start messing with the wheel too much, you're liable to wreck.
Well, we're fortunate he didn't, and he's maintained his spot. These guys gave him a little breathing room to get it gathered up, so we race on.
Let's hop on board with Mr. Newton here, our points leader and last year's champion.
Looking for a pass
and the
here.
reason is because I love the line he's running here. This is a line that I run personally, right? It's very difficult to pass early here, but you want to kind of diamond this corner, both corners really, and you want to stay down low. Now, it may or may not pay off in a certain race. You know, you'll see other guys enter and kind of stay around the middle. They can have success as well, Baron.
Well, Dean, he's keeping that headlight out there. You know, he had a run on Sheffield here, or excuse me, Leal just a minute ago. And he's just keeping the headlight out there. He's got as much downforce as he can gather here. Leal's about a half lane up. He's going to let Newton get his nose under there because he knows he can finish the turn better. So when Newton's ready to pass him, you're going to see him directly behind the 2 machine of George Leal, or excuse me, the 51 of George Leal, and then he'll bend it underneath. That's when the pass is going to happen.
Yeah, and the other way to go, I mean, we talked a little bit about it in the opening there, the high side. I mean, I don't see anybody up there yet, but it'd be interesting to see, especially after you get frustrated and you can't pass on the bottom. Let's go high.
He's in his tracks. Yeah, he's on his tracks now, Dean. He's probably looking to see if he can make up a little closer ground before he makes that pass.
Brian Helm's sitting in 5th right now, and it looks like he's trying to move up the track a little bit here.
Yeah, he's just, you know, watching to see what happens with Newton and Leal here. He's not wanting to get into any messes just yet. We're only on 15 of 160, so a lot of these guys are just kind of sorting it out, see how the truck gets through a run, and you know, see when that loose condition kicks in, how bad it'll be for them.
The familiar 88 Paul K. Travis, currently in 6th position. He's picked up a couple. And I love this for Paul because, you know, what I've found with Paul is Paul's a fast race car driver, but he's a little track specific, right? There's a lot of tracks he likes, and there's a few maybe he don't like so much. This one, I think he likes this one right now.
Yeah, this one is a good track for him, and Brian Helm had it sideways in front of him there. That's how fast it can happen for you in this track.
It's going to get real bad. So any of you, the fuel mileage guys out here, this truck is going to get real bad on the long run. Bad loose, and we're going to see who handles it. There's Ratliff in 7th. He's down a couple. You got Reiner back in 8th. Of course, he's up 3. That's kind of what he does each and every race here, Baron. He's usually pushing towards the front. Qualifying might be his, you know, not his forte, let's say.
Well, he's, you know, driving a solid race right now. We saw him do this last week. He'll be there at the end. I think maybe he's just kind of sorting the way it's going to handle right now.
Lance Ripka back in 9th. You got Claus Williams, a model of consistency this year. Got him in here battling for a championship. Whitford, who's about to break out with a win. I mean, we keep saying it. It's going to happen for the 42 sooner than later. Bertel trying to work on Suggs right now, so this battle here is a battle for 12th. It looks like TJ is going to go on through.
Looks like he's bringing Jason Jackson right along up to Suggs as well.
Yeah, I mean, Suggs a good spot right now, 13th, but under heat from Jackson, like you said. Spear back here in 15th, and he's in the comfort zone, so look for him to, like, maybe let's hop on board and just have a listen and see if he's letting out a little early. And you can hear it come down, so that's it. I mean, it sounds to me like he's taking it a little easy, not too easy. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that one, Baron.
Well, positioning matters, right? If he doesn't have track position, he's out there just kind of watching his P's and Q's right now. If it does go super loose, you know, well, you know, you got quick hands now.
And Gay's running the line I like. Get on the bottom, enter low, and he's getting right down there on that, you know, almost down on the inside of the track. As words escape me tonight, Baron.
That's okay, Dean. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for support.
As long as they're not longer than 4 letters, right?
I can manage.
Okay. Toad Man back here in 17th. Always nice to see the Gilly machine out here. Let's get a zoomed in look on that beautiful Kailu glass machine, and he gets a little loose there. Leicester 18th. You got Ledford back in 19th. Whiting, Brantley. It looks like Person did not take to the field tonight. So Darren Bruce, your race leader, doing a heck of a job. And, you know, early, when you see Darren Bruce out front at the early stage of the race, boy, oh boy, you're in for a long night, aren't you?
Well, he made a hell of a nice pass on that high line. And I got to be honest with you, Dean, he has no intention of sacrificing that first place position. Out there is where the least can happen to you until you get into lap traffic. And we are going to start running into lap traffic soon.
So Newton starting to fall off a little bit by the looks of it. Paul K has caught up to him. And this is my concern. So I know Adam runs the same line I do. It's just not working the way it used to be for long run ability. For whatever reason, it's carving him up a bit running down on that bottom. And you see Newton has moved up the track slightly.
That could be a comfort thing, too. He may be feeling better up there. But nope, he's under duress now.
He certainly is. Paul K. Travis on the move. He's bringing Ratliff with him. Newton trying to hold these guys off.
Whoa! Whoa! Careful now, boys.
Sound like my wife when we're driving on the highway.
Yeah, well, you know, Newton's, he's got one in front of him, one on his side. That makes it a little harder to handle the machine. He's done pretty well, but it looks like he kind of backed out and said, go ahead, boys. I've had enough of that for a minute.
You know what? This is advanced thinking here. This is something we've seen from Newton. You know, he's already a champion, so we know he's improved in these areas. But giving up a couple of spots is not the end of your race, right?
Yeah, the
why
truck
burn
right
up your
behind
stuff?
him. Truck right behind him just hit the wall a ton. And that's the example, right?
It is. I mean, let's live to fight another day here. It's a long race. Helm has fallen way back here, so Helm off to a flying start, and that truck has gone away on him, or he's got himself into the wall or something.
Reiner's the one that hit the wall, and I mean, he has got his hands full. I think he flattened the right side, took some aerodynamics out of it.
Jamie Suggs comes to pit road. Wow, that's an unscheduled stop to be certain. He says, you know what? How about 30 lap stops? I'm gonna need some freshies.
Well, it may be out of control for him, and sometimes you're a speed bump, Dean. You just pull it off and get some fresh tires and carry on, you know?
Absolutely. At least have some fun, if nothing else, right?
Right.
I've been there and done that. Ratliff starting to work on Paul K. Travis. But I tell you, Paul K. looking real solid tonight. I think he's actually closing in on George Leal. Let's go to George and see if we can bring up a graph here. So lap 25, it looks like Leal's opening it up actually. The last 5 laps, he's opened up about 5/10 or so. So no surprise from Leal, really. Leal's a great long run guy.
He's got, you know, space in front, space in back. He's in pretty good shape.
Looks like Helm's got it back together here. He's closed back up, so he could have just had a bobble. You know, I got loose. Something happened to him, though he lost several spots. Bartel looks like he's on the move. He is right behind Ripka. Bartel's moved up 6 spots already.
Solid night so far for TJ. Love seeing him out here mixing it up with the kids. It's pretty good.
Right behind them, Claus, Williams, Whitford, and Jackson. So this group's starting to stack up a little bit, and that'll happen here, won't it?
Sure, especially as these tires start to go away. Dean, if the truck in front of you is super loose, you got to be careful before you can get down there and actually make a pass without getting yourself wrecked.
Absolutely. You know, I always found this is the most dangerous track to pass someone on the low side because they ding that outside wall and they come right down India. And look at this, TJ to the high side. So he's just diamonding there, but that's exactly what I preach about trying to pass on the high side. Why don't you get a fender on him on the high side and shock him, right? Have his spotter say, car high, He'll have to lift, and that's how you can make a pass.
Looks like TJ's handling himself, with little care right now. Doesn't look like he's putting a lot of pressure on Claus, but
Lance, yeah.
Lance, I'm sorry. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think you'll see TJ over push it. I think what you'll see in general with TJ is the only time you'll see him do something egregious is if this goes on for about 50 laps. That's how long it takes him to lose his patience. But if you're going to hold him up that long, he might put a bumper to you.
Well, it looks like Ripka's, actually, holding the line up as the other two drivers are starting to catch these three. Might be in his best interest to try to get around him here.
Well, Ripka's blocking at this point, right? TJ moved up the track. Ripka moved up the track. I love this move by the 69. It's like he's listening or something, Baron. He went to the high side to get it done. This is a pro move. If it ain't working down low, let's go somewhere they ain't, right?
That is a completely different line. You were talking about somebody go to the high line. That was way up there.
It is, and it works. I don't know why, but it works. So I'm surprised more people aren't trying it. Back up front, Darren Bruce. He's opened up about a 6/10 lead on Sheffield. Pretty stable up there. So quite a ways back to Leal and Ratliff. Paul K and Adam right there. And it looks like Claus Williams has took to the high side. So everybody behind Ripka learned from TJ as you see how much of a gap TJ's put on this group already.
Yeah, TJ's, he gone.
And Claus clears them. So watch for Jason Jackson to try and go up there too. I mean, they're learning quickly. Eric Whiting hits pit road.
Yeah, TJ is absolutely gone. So he's setting his sights on Brian Helm. And
yeah, right now he has matched our two leaders, TJ did. So our leader at 24.84, Sheffield at 24.82, and you can wedge TJ Bartell right in between them. He had an 83 last time by. I mean, in this lap he was in 89, so I mean, he is running right up with the fastest guys on the track right now.
We're cooking with bacon grease now.
Whitford hits the wall there. That's easy to do here.
It is. You can flatten that sucker out. You'll hit it once. Oh, shit. Hit it twice. Third time, you'll see that fender crinkle up, then it goes to hell.
You see Jason Jackson looking low, so for whatever reason, Jason is not comfortable or not unable to get to the outside of the 52, and that's the difference. The pass on the low side just not working. He's going to try here again.
He's got a nose down there now.
There's just no run off the corner down there, so he's liable to lose two before he's going to gain one. He got to send it up by the wall hive.
Yeah, so Ripka doing his best to run that right in the middle of the track.
There's Bartell. He's already caught up to Helm. My goodness, Bartell is absolutely flying.
Yeah, and the truck behind him just slapped the wall. That was Claus Williams, hit it hard.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of that here tonight.
Yep.
Lap 45 of 160. So this is an interesting point in the race. I mean, if you're on a three-stopper, in my opinion, you should already be on pit road. If you're going with a two-stopper, you're going to have to try and make it another 12 laps. That's a tall task here. Big heat here. Newton, Travis, Reiner, all under a blanket. Battle for fifth position. Woo, a little touch there from Reiner and Paul K.
Good racing here. I wonder who picks up the spot. Newton's just sitting there going, go ahead, boys, race with each other.
Usually I go to places where they say you can look but can't touch. Yeah.
Oh, that's the strip club, Dean.
Oh, no. It's the museum.
Oh, yeah, or the bank.
The bank, yeah. I'd like to touch some of that.
Yep.
Reiner trying to make a move here. Newton pinching him down there. Wow. And still Reiner's going to make it through here, I think. Newton's going to try to hold him off. I don't think he's got enough of a truck left to hold him off, though.
Cleared himself.
He did indeed. He fought for that one, boy. Adam Newton would not giving that one up easy. Out front, Bruce still 6/10 to Sheffield. They're very evenly matched here. Matter of fact, they matched lap times last time by. Little wiggle from Sheffield there. Leal coming out of 4. Ratliff is on the move, and there's another guy to watch. This is a Ratliff kind of track here.
Well, you know, he had it sideways just a little while ago, and look, he's right there, 4th place. Like, it didn't unfazed, man. Loose is good for him.
Well, that's the thing. Loose is fast, right? I mean, it's hard to handle.
That's what they said about my last girlfriend.
Oh, boy.
Loose and hard to handle.
And fast.
And fast.
So TJ tries it again. He whips it around the high side. I absolutely love these outside maneuvers. Even if he doesn't get the pass done, he gets a huge run on him.
Yeah, and don't think he didn't see that either. Look at how high he's moved up there in front of him now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's on purpose or he's just moving up there, but TJ tries the low side. So Bartel working on Travis. He's up 8, looking for one more here. Put TJ up to 7th place.
Clear.
Man, he is having a drive here tonight. There's Helm hanging on. Looks like he's settled in here at 9th. Him and Claus both have faded. A couple of wall slaps and loose cars. I mean, they'll adjust as this race goes on.
Now, they're all praying for this pit stop right now. If this thing's evil, it gets a lot more evil as this wears on.
Looking at me like fuel mileage not a concern out here. I mean, you got to do what, 57, 57, and 56 to make it. And Reiner's in. So this is a concern. If we go green, Reiner will not be able to make it unless he's short pitting and he has lots of fuel left. But I don't think that's the case, Barron.
It's a very, very slow pit road. 35 miles an hour.
In.
Sheffield's in. Ooh, crooked sideways. See if he made the cone. That'll be interesting to see.
Leal.
And all four
Oh,
of them
no,
walk
and Leal's around. I mean, we're seeing it. These guys are coming in loose, all of them under braking.
Tough track. Tough track.
I think we're going to, you keep seeing that rear end come out on guys. I think we're going to see a lot of it. Bruce comes in to cover him off. So nobody's making it yet. I mean, they are laps short. My question is, Barron, why do we run to lap 54 if we know we could have pitted on lap 40?
Well, it's very possible, Dean, that somebody knows something we don't.
Well, that's not only possible, it's likely. But
It's probable, I know, right?
It's probable, but that's not what I'm talking about.
Well, you know, we're just out here being wrong.
Well, that's true. Here comes TJ on lap 55. I mean, that's not enough either. So Paul K right now, advantage to him. Jason Spear still on the track, and Fred Lester. So they're going to at least get through lap 56. If they can do one more lap here, the serious advantage to these three drivers. I mean, I love this for Paul K because he's running fast and making good fuel mileage. I mean, he's going to have to milk it a little bit to get that 57 the next two runs, but he's almost there. Lester in as well. So Spear, the only guy to get into lap 57. How about that? The 83 out here saying, boys, you're going to have to come all the way around and lap me or something with the one extra stop, you know? So Spear's going to put him to the test tonight.
Rolling the dice.
I mean, he ain't coming in yet. So he's going to come and he's going to take it to lap 58. I love this. Jason Spear in the driver's seat here tonight because I don't think he's lollygagging around there. He's got some speed too. Now, I don't think these guys can just get an extra stop in and outrace him. I mean, he's right there with them. Here he comes.
Well, time will tell as he comes on to pit road. Now he's told everybody what he's doing with this pit strategy, and everybody else now has to see if he can maintain it.
So the other interesting thing is Brandon Sheffield with another stellar stop. We've talked a lot about stops with different people over the years, but Sheffield right now, the class of the field each week, So he got out in front of Darren Bruce here, and he's got about a half second on Bruce.
That's not easy to do. To beat Darren Bruce off of pit road, you've done something.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We talked about Bruce. We've talked about Newton, a couple of others along the way of showing how good they're getting on and off pit road. And then Sheffield came along and go, oh, you think that's good? And he's showing them a new way. So there's levels to this stuff, isn't there, Baron?
There sure is.
There comes Spear off of pit road. So everything looks okay for Spear. He is going to be about 20 seconds back. You see, he's going to come out right behind our leaders, so he's going to be a lap down. This is a little bit troubling. He's going to have to get up here and show a little bit of speed on these guys. He'll have a little fresher tire as Bruce stalking Sheffield for the lead.
Good chance he unlaps himself. Bad chance if we get a yellow, it screws his pit strategy. So he could probably come up here and make up some time. We'll see if it works out in the end. Great shot here.
Yeah, our drone cam guy's a little drunk, but he's all right.
Doing well. Does that say 12 cars on the lead lap now?
It does indeed. I mean, and that's the thing with these late stoppers like Lester, Spear, Gay. These guys have got to come up here and try and unlap themselves. That's not going to be an easy feat. And it also puts our leaders under duress if they're able to get up there and race with them. There's Ratliff. Now Ratliff came in. Let's look at our pit board here. So he came in at the same time, but he is 8 seconds back. I mean, my goodness.
Wow.
That's, we talked about Bruce and Sheffield. I mean, Sheffield is shown to be the best, but we've been saying Bruce was the best for a long time. 8 seconds. I mean, I'm pretty sure it wasn't that when they pitted.
Definitely not. Yeah, you're right, Dean. It's a big oopsie.
There's Adam Newton, your points leader. He's moved up into 4th. Whitford is up 5 spots. I want to see when Whitford pitted here because he made a good jump. Again, no, it's not pit lap. It's just pit time. I don't know. I don't know where they're making up this time, but Whitford doing good here into the top 5 again. Hellman 6th right now. He's got Leal and Bartel coming. With Williams as well.
It's a gaggle of cars.
So this is where it gets interesting. You get in here, Baron, and you know you've done a great job managing your car in the first run. And you come out and you find yourself 16 seconds behind the leader. Your instincts tell you to go like hell, but you know if you do, you're going to ruin your long run ability.
You know, I never ever, when I got into that situation, I never ever listened to anybody. I went like hell.
Well, I mean, you got to know yourself, right? I've actually took to giving advice to certain drivers to tell them to go like hell. What's the sense in playing a tire saving game with people who are better at it?
Right. Totally right. Speed kills. 55 saves lives.
That's right.
Go kill them all.
Let's go out there and set a pace, you know, and you know, you might need a caution at some point or something, but you know, at least you're going to enjoy yourself and you're going to have the lead and give yourself a chance to win. You want to play the tire saving game with 10 tire saving masters, you're probably going to lose. There's Paul K up on the high side, getting around Ripka or holding them off. Paul K come in a little bit later. He's in 10th right now, looking to move forward again. Ripka, Jackson back here in 12th. Lester, one of those late pitters, so Lester and Spear, who's right behind them, they're on a different strategy than everybody else.
Man, there's just some speed in those two drivers right there. It's such a pleasure to watch them week in and week out.
It really is. I mean, and you can just see here, you see the wheel, Baron. It's almost like a preemptive strike, right? They're moving the wheel before the car even gets loose. You'll see a little sawing here. It's just a little wiggling on the wheel. That'll keep it stable, believe it or not.
Yeah, they're setting the nose here. This is a great place to set the nose, like right about there. There's a bump down there. That was always my telltale sign. The minute the front end clipped that bump, I knew I needed to be off the brake at that point.
There you go, some great advice from Mr. Labosco. Darren setting the pace. Sheffield chasing. As he's chasing in the points championship too. Right now, 2 spots ahead of Mr. Newton. You look at Lester. Lester he's creeping in on our leaders here, as is Spear. So these guys would dearly love to come up here and get their laps back and even extend that a little bit.
Easier said than done, Dean. These two up front don't want to sacrifice any positions.
No, they're not going to be very willing to just let you go, especially now as, you know, they got here into the run a little bit, so their tires, the advantage has kind of gone away. There's Greg Ratliff currently in 3rd position, and there's Ledford right in front of him too. Don't sleep on him. He might have a fuel mileage situation as well. I'm not too sure. He moves over though. He's going to let Ratliff go right on by. And Newton in 4th. So guys getting spread out around this track a little bit. Go back to Whitford, and here's the gaggle.
Big old gaggle.
Right behind Leal. They're everywhere. You got Bartel still working on Leal. And now Williams is there, Paul Kay is there. I mean, it's getting heated in here.
That is a frightful scene as we creep up on Halloween.
I expect the 51 and the 69 to start to pull away here at some point, just because of the way they run their vehicles.
Well, we saw Bartel make a hell of a run the last time before the last pit stop, so can he do it again?
Well, it's always interesting. I touched on a little bit when you come out and you find yourself behind the leaders by so much. You want to run the car a little harder, and then you go, well, what happened that run? How come I wasn't as good on the long run? Well, didn't run the same.
Right, didn't run it hard or didn't run it enough. Seen that too, where the tires get cool.
We actually have. I mean, you want balance, and sometimes the car demands you drive it a little harder in and stuff. Bartel still looking for that run. I think he's got to go back to the well and try and get it to the high side, but Leal's kind of running that middle groove, Baron, and that's the one, that's a, pass me wherever you want, but I'm taking up the track.
Yeah, that's half the track. Can't quite go low, can't quite go high. Where do I put it?
Well, I know where I'd put it, but that's a different story, man.
Right in the hole, right?
You betcha.
We talked about that.
Nice little race here as we approach the halfway mark. Darren Bruce, your leader. He has opened it up over Sheffield now. The lead up to 1.5 seconds. Lester has gotten by Sheffield. You see Spear behind Sheffield. Both those guys are a lap down, but on an alternate strategy, they still got hope for sure. There's Ratliff again.
Oh, big hit. Another one right in the wall.
What did I miss?
Right in front of Newton in the black truck.
That's Ratliff there. He hit the wall, did he?
Big time.
Eric Whiting comes in again. He's on his own strategy here tonight.
Yeah, Whiting is running a different kind of pit strategy here, isn't he?
He certainly is. He's running the let's have fun strategy, right? Which I don't mind. You come out here and get freshies and start passing people, you feel pretty good.
A lot of fun, even if you're a couple laps down.
Absolutely. So Sheffield's fading a bit this time. I'm a little surprised here, as it seems like he burned him up a little bit. Spears on pit road. Oh, no.
Oops. Is there damage on that right front of that machine? Is that what I see? Or is that just a shadow?
looks like some serious damage.
Yeah, it
Let's
does
see
look
if we
like.
can get a replay on this. Yeah, that doesn't look good
Gosh.
right there.
Yeah. Bad hit.
But he was already damaged. I mean, something happened to him because he just couldn't
I
turn
think
that
we
car.
see it coming right here. Yeah.
So this is Brandon Sheffield, who's in second place right in front of him. Come off the corner, and Sheffield got a little loose, a little correction there. And he hits the wall, and Spear just runs up on him a little bit. That's a pretty slight hit there to cause the steering to buckle, which you can see that right front wobbling.
Kills that right front.
It's
Now he's got no
absolutely
control for it.
and he's just going to
Yep.
drive straight into the wall. Wow, super unfortunate here tonight for the 83 machine. Wow.
He's got that wheel turned left, and it is just going straight.
I mean, that is just criminal. The damage he got out of that was not right.
That sucks.
So Bruce now 2.3 seconds up on Sheffield. Ratliff back in third. I don't think he's made a whole lot of progress on Bruce. He's catching Sheffield a little bit, though. Newton, 4.5 seconds back from Ratliff. Whitford's 4.5 seconds back at Newton. Then you got Leal and Bartel. They continue to run together. And hey, I don't want to toot my own horn, but like I said, I thought these two would kind of start separating themselves, and they have, Baron.
Little fresher tires here. These guys have been working all over each other for the whole race. You know, they're probably used to each other by now. Make up a little time.
Yeah, they're catching Whitford too, so expect these guys to get up here to Whitford and possibly all the way up to Newton before this run is over. Although, not a lot of time left in this run, to be honest with you. We're on lap 89 of 160.
So Darren Bruce out there really kind of extending his lead now. That's pretty cool.
It is. Bruce is having a heck of a race out here. There's a good little battle. You got Jason Jackson coming underneath the helm here.
Helm is steadily fallen, since the drop of the green flag. Dean, you think he's just not comfortable? Got some damage? What do you think's going on with that machine?
Well, I want to be honest with you and not insult you at the same time. What I'm going to say is Brian drives a lot like you in this fashion. He's going to go like hell, right? Or he ain't going to save nothing. And this truck right now is just, it's falling apart on him when you're overdriving it. That's the issue here. It's nothing. There's no big surprise here. He's just driving fast early, and the truck's going away on him.
Got it. Well, 8 spots from his starting position here in 11th.
Yeah, it's just not suiting him. And the other thing is if you start shaking that rear end around, you know what it does? It just exasperates the situation.
Gets worse and worse. It sure does.
As Ripke hits the wall, then Helm hits the wall. They're having a wall competition back here.
They need to buy it dinner. They're hitting it so much.
And the last thing you want to do is be side by side when both guys just hit the wall, but you got to do what you got to do here. Helm holding them off on the high side.
Hashtag arrow push.
Yeah. So good for Lester. Lester got back. I think he got on the lead lap. Let's go to our blimp here. Where's Bruce? Nope, he has not gotten on the lead lap. So Bruce, hanging out here, now a 3-second lead, has put Lester, Gay, and Brantley, Ledford, and the Toad Man all a lap down. Spear unfortunately retired. It looks like Whiting, Reiner, Suggs all retired for the night. I mean, let's go on board here, Baron, and maybe you can just see, like, what is Darren doing so right here?
Quiet hands through the center of the turn. I kind of like that. Let's see what happens coming out. Yeah, a little counter steer there to make sure the rear end stays underneath him. I love that.
It looks effortless, doesn't it?
Pins it right to the bottom. He's just, he's bottom feeding right now. He doesn't need to. Doesn't need to change that line all alone.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this is Dover. This is how you drive Dover. It's how I like to drive Dover. I don't know if I could do it as fast as Darren's doing it, but I mean, it's not hard. I mean, but we also seen Newton come down here and not have the success. So what's the difference? Just the quiet hands, Baron?
Well, I think, clean air helps. I think the fact that, his nearest competitor's 3 seconds back. He's not overrunning the machine, so the tires are staying true, and, he's on cruise control right now.
You think he's got some bourbon nearby?
I hope he does. I will be.
You have to send
I
it
have
to
faith.
Baron's house tonight, folks. He's at home.
I'm at home. Doesn't happen very often. I am sitting in the comfort of my Barca Lounger right now, talking racing with my friends and all of our friends in YouTube land. Thank you for watching us here on Wind Tunnel TV. We really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, we do. We got some of the greatest fans out here. I absolutely love everybody who supports us. Big thank you. Of course, those sponsors, Baron. The Affordable Construction Specialists.
Tell me about it, Dean.
Well, they're some of the best guys on the planet. They'll do anybody's work except for Mr. Labosco's.
I know, I'm on the blacklist.
They're not going back there again. Woof.
Every week I ask these boys to give me a quote on a deck, and every week it's crickets.
Well, just for, this is cross-country people, so they would gladly give Baron a quote, but cross-country, tough to do.
I told him I build in travel cost and beer.
All right, well, we're going to have to prod them a little bit there. I mean, that's a pretty good offer.
It is a good offer. Got a pond and a pool. I think we better put them in the pond. What do you think?
Well, I think so. You don't like those workers dirtying up your pool.
We'll get them an RV. They can stay, Don't have to drive anywhere.
So there's Bertel. You've seen Leal. These two have been running together.
Ooh.
It seems like Leal has separated a bit as Whitford had a bit of an issue there in front of him.
Clip the wall, yeah.
And this is going to bring Leal right to him here. And the Toad Man's up high here as well. Right on board with George Leal here, currently in 6th position behind Derek Whitford. Got that sideline machine.
That he does. Good looking truck.
You see the big run off the corner. I mean, my goodness, did he get off that corner well. And I love this. He's going to try and generate some speed here. And there it is. And now he'll take a peek to the inside. Maybe not yet. One more time. He'll try and get a bigger run this time.
Big run here. See if he can do anything with it. Get right there. Hey, looking low.
Yeah, going to come right down on the bottom. This might take a couple of corners, but Leal will move up here as he works on Whitford for 5th position.
Giving him plenty of room. I love that.
Yeah, good racing. So pit stops have started. James Letford and Leal just clears himself there on Whitford. There's Letford on pit road. So Whitford now will have to deal with TJ Bartel. And Bartel will look to do something similar. We'll see if he holds that same strategy here.
Well, we saw Bartel make a pass on the high side, so I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't set him up for a highline pass.
Jason Jackson in, and that looks like a penalty. Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
I don't think he
Brian
made it.
Helms in. So again, Baron, we're getting down to it, right? 53 laps remaining now.
And once again, we are proven wrong.
Yeah, what? I'm getting confused, Baron.
Yeah, they got it figured out better than we do, Dean.
Is
I'll
it a
just trust-
math problem again?
That could be. Could be.
I probably miscalculated the math at the beginning. I think I did. I think I said 57 when it was 53 and 54. So that's my mistake, folks. This Canadian math is not the same.
It's a good thing you're pretty.
That's right. I brushed my hair before I showed up tonight.
He's got a face for radio, folks.
All right, damn, I can't believe I miscalculated that, but nonetheless, Bruce out here leading now. Yeah, sometimes you gotta laugh at yourself, folks.
You said, damn. Oh, we almost had a collision on pit road. All right.
You know, I always joke that I'm bad at math in here, and now I'm starting to prove I guess I really am bad at math.
You're prophetic, that's for sure. That's a school word.
Well, I don't know what that means.
I'm good at words. I'm not good at math.
So Sheffield came in first. Now Bruce is in. There goes Sheffield.
Somebody out there is like, that boy's stupid.
Right?
Them boys right there.
I hope it's in the good way. They just think we're, you know, I don't know. I don't know what the young people say these days, man.
Stupid. We stupid. That boy out there, that boy's stupid.
All right, so Bruce down and away. Let's see where Sheffield comes around here, if I can find him. Sheffield's coming back in, Marin. Oh, he did. We seen him get a little loose there, and yeah,
Yep.
A penalty for Sheffield. He comes back in. My goodness, Darren Bruce is going to absolutely be walking away with this thing now.
Trouble for
Whitford-
Sheffield, that's just bad news for the rest of the field as Darren Bruce has got a nice lead.
Whitford just set the fastest lap of the race. I'm not sure that's even a good idea or not, but he's got speed, I'll tell you that.
Sure does. 29.29. 23.29, excuse me.
And Bartel has come up to 5th. Newton's come up to 4th. But Ratfield
There you go.
up to 2nd now.
That boy can't even talk. He can't do math. He
Oh
can't
boy. I need some bourbon.
talk. Boy needs some bourbon. Get him some bourbon. Get him some milk.
So how about this now? It was looking like Sheffield going to close in on this lead of Newton's, a very small points lead. Now, that mistake, that could be a championship mistake for Brandon Sheffield.
Bad time of the year to have an accident like this, but you never know. There's a lot that can happen. We saw a couple weeks ago Adam Newton, finish almost dead last from an early incident. So, a lot of racing left here, but doesn't help his chances, that's for sure.
Klaus Williams has set the fastest lap of the race, so the track is getting faster out there. Guys are on the move. We spent a lot of time buttering Sheffield up with his pitting. It looks like he's living on the edge, Baron, and this time he got a penalty for it.
Yeah, it just clipped him.
So Williams, that's Paul K, but Paul K actually a lap down, so something unfortunate for the 88 as well. He was having a really good run here. Jason Jackson also back in 16th now. He looked good at times.
And then he had that pit road penalty. Yeah, he was hauling Butte.
There's Sheffield trying to make something up. He's in 15th now. The Toad Man, Todd Gilly, he's moved up to 14th. Gay is right in front of this group, or no, second in line in this group. He is in 13th position, right behind James Ledford in 12th. And it looks like he gives a little kiss to the wall. Is that mandatory, Baron?
I believe it is, Dean. This track is tough, and Very few races I got through where I didn't touch anything. You kind of come away from a race where maybe you didn't win, but you didn't crease the thing at all, and you think, whew, I'll take that and go on.
Yes, sir. So Gay now comes underneath of James Ledford, but William Gay up to 12th. Here comes Whitford. Whitford's in fourth, so Whitford's actually a lap ahead of all these guys.
Oh yeah, we got a bunch of lap down there.
And you got Bartell in here as well. So Whitford ran his stuff. He come out here and set fastest lap of the race, right? And he got by TJ Bartell. So I wonder how this will play out for TJ. I mean, he might get to him, or he's still there. And he might be faster on the long run, but can he get by him again?
He's going to have an opportunity. We still got 40 to go here. Only 8 cars on the lead lap right now.
Yeah, I mean, 8 cars. Brian Helm last on the lead lap, and Darren Bruce is hunting him right now. How about Bruce, man? I mean, it's just been a clinic here tonight.
From the drop of the rag, you know, he had that high side pass around Sheffield, and they stayed nose to tail for quite a bit, but trouble ensued, and here's Darren out here with a 6-second lead over second place.
It's wild. I mean, these are some good cars he's putting to shame. So this looser truck here really suiting the 15 Darren Bruce. Greg Ratliff has moved up into second. Good to see Greg having himself a nice night here. The 5 machine is agreeing with the track tonight. Newton in third. Bartell has gotten back by Whitford. Not sure what happened there. Leal also moving on by.
Whitford's on that strange strategy right there. His tires may be older than these fellas, and, you know, not much to put up a fight with.
Well, it's like I said when he ran that fastest lap of the race, right? I mean, I think too hard, too early, the truck just won't take it. Stay focused on racing, Baron.
I'm with you.
Sorry.
I'm here for
I'm
it.
having jokes inside of my head, that's all.
Oh, okay. Are they good jokes? Wow, way up the hill there. Helm goes, yeah.
You know, Helm, and this is to drive the crap out of its strategy, right? Basically. I mean, I don't know for certain, but I'm guessing. I mean, it's in 8th place. This is a good night at Dover.
Yeah, sure is. Considering he's the last car on the lead lap, he's done something special. This is a talented field, and here comes Darren Bruce now.
Yeah, Bruce closing in on him here. So looking to make it 7 cars on the lead lap. The 15, Darren Bruce. And you can just see he continues to run that bottom. He's never going to move more than a truck length off the bottom. A little bit of a mini diamond here.
So Darren's, you know, just kind of systematically picking him up and putting him down here. Guys are being nice to him here. Helm lets him go. And that's pretty cool, right? Helm's a little loose, and, you know, Darren said, thank you.
That's a classy move. You do not want to be lapped, but, you know, sometimes you just beat, and a real classy move by the 46 there.
Yeah, what do you got left to do, right?
Yeah. We got Ratliff, Newton, Bartell, Leal. So Bartell has gotten by Leal, or was he always by him? I guess he was.
Kind of was, yeah. I got to tell you, one of the drives of the night by Greg Ratliff. I mean, he's been off the wall, he's been loose, and he's in 2nd place right now.
Yeah,
way to go, Greg.
It's been a great night. I mean, I think Ratliff and Ripka, 2 of our long-standing members here, championship drivers, been struggling a little bit. And when I say struggling, we're used to seeing them win and dominate at times. Here, it's really good to see the 5 getting a handle on her here tonight.
Well, and I think the competition has stepped up a little bit too. We keep bringing in really talented drivers with a lot of skill and a lot of experience, and makes it harder to win these things. It doesn't come easy.
They don't come easy, that's for sure. take a couple of years off of racing, it gets even tougher, doesn't it, Baron?
Make no mistake.
So there's Newton, Bartel, like I said, Leal hanging right with them. Leal will not give up, and he is a good long-run driver. I don't know which one of these trucks is going to be better over the next 30 laps. Whitford hanging in there in 6th, Williams 7th, and Paul K's a lap down there. You got Helm back in 8th, Ripka in 9th. He's about a second behind Helm, so Ripka right where he started in 9th here tonight, Baron.
Not bad, considering how the first run was really tough for him. He struggled, kind of fell back quite a bit. Looks like it's nice recovery right now. He's not 9th place. Top 10 will be nice and welcome.
Absolutely. Lester back in 10th position. So he's up 10 spots in 10th position. The 78 with that, long, he's done a couple of long runs. So it's worked out for him so far.
Yeah, not bad. Lester, we talk about Fred a lot. He has flashes of brilliance. And then there are nights where he just can't avoid a wreck. They're happening all around him.
Yeah, I mean, it's just good to see him having a top 10 run here right now. He's got decent tires. He should be able to hold this. He's got a big lead back to William Gay in 11th. You got Jason Brantley in 12th. Ledford in 13th. The Toad Man. Then you got Brandon Sheffield trying to get any points he can as he's trying to run down the Toad Man. Jason Jackson back in 16th, and Paul K. Travis in 17th. Hate it for Paul. I thought him and Jason Jackson and Sheffield really were all running around the top 5 here for a large part of this race.
Yeah, they were, and putting on a nice show too. It was a shame we kind of found trouble.
"26 laps remaining in the Monster Mile 160 here at Dover, Delaware." God, I hope Dover's in Delaware.
It is. Been there. Yep. It is.
I'd love to go to Dover. How was it there, Baron?
Oh, great track. Really, really cool facility. It's attached to a casino. The hotel's right on site. If you're fortunate enough to get a room on race day, it's great vibe, great energy.
Love it. How's the food?
You get anything you want there. Full service restaurants all around. You're in the city, so good food everywhere.
I absolutely love it. Darren Bruce out here with 24 to go. Ratliff's cut it down to 7.1 seconds, or I don't know if he's cut it down, to be honest with you. That's where it's at. Newton's 7 seconds behind him. Bartel is 7 seconds behind him, as we got a bit of a theme going here. But Leal, right there. So Leal and Bartel, they've been, attached at the hip here.
They have been all night around each other, racing with each other. That gets frustrating after a while, Dean. You keep thinking to yourself, how do I shake this guy?
It is frustrating, but it's, and all of a sudden, Leal with a big run. I don't know if Bartel grazed the wall or what. We'll see if Bartel's going to race him for it, so try and hold him off here on the outside. Late, big race for 4th place right now. Bartel edges ahead. Leal on the low side.
Bartel running strong here on the high side. He might get a little bit of real estate back here down this front stretch.
Yeah, I think that it still looks like the low side could prevail, but TJ's trying a little something. That high line looks a little better in one corner than the other. Put George Leal up to 4th place.
Nice pass. Low side pass, really nice.
Well, it's great patience, right, Ryan? I mean, he rode behind Bartel for, 30 laps? He says, I'll get you when I get you.
And with 20 laps to go, that's the right time to make that move.
It is. I mean, it's go time, right? The pay window is open, right, Baron?
That it is. Time to kick the pig.
And how about Claus Williams? I mean, he's sitting I think 4th in points or something, really still in this championship battle. That's only going to improve, or I guess Newton's ahead of him, so maybe not. But, I mean, each and every week, it seems like he's hovering around that top 5. I love what I'm seeing from the 16.
Yeah, solid drive tonight, and Claw's, also a championship contender, making the most out of a, not a stellar night, but not a bad night either.
How about that paint job there, Baron? It's
That's
got a
forward
little ripped paint down the side there, so to speak.
Good look. Very good look.
That's one
Auto
of the-
Nation on the back. Big dealership group here in the United States.
It's one of them there potato head paints.
Ah, okay. Shout out to Scott Olson. What up, man? How you doing, man? Holla to your mother.
Are you Scott Olson, Baron?
I am not.
Okay, I'm just checking. It's like the masked singer, Someone comes around walking with a potato head on. I don't know who's under there.
A potato head. Can he move the eyes and the nose and everything?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
So how about that? Bruce has lapped Derek Whitford for 7th place, Baron.
That's blistering pace. Blistering pace.
Absolutely flying. And I gotta get a close-up of this. See if we can get a in-car shot here. I wanted to get a look at this racing uniform he's got on. I thought it almost looked like a construction worker was driving for a minute with that orange on.
Yeah, or a detainee outfit.
Well, maybe that's it. He's worked in the prison industry his whole life, so.
Right. See those guys on the side of the road picking up trash. Thanks, fellas.
Sheffield. Looks like Sheffield actually struggling a little bit now. That's no real surprise, is it, Baron?
Well, he's back there and he's trying to do something to unlap himself. He's not had much luck against it, and we're running out of laps here with 14 to go.
Well, I think he's 2 down, so, I think you lose focus, right? And you're just like, really? Like, can we go home yet? There's Newton. Got that Earnhardt scheme there. 7
Love
different
it.
championships beyond that back lid.
Love that scheme. I gave him that scheme. I didn't make that scheme. That's a potato head scheme. But I found that on a miniature, and I actually dared him to drive it. By God, if he didn't do it the whole season.
And
No, he
Lester
shared
down
a
on
love.
the bottom here, and that truck does not look well.
He's on the apron, yeah.
And that hood, he's missing part of the hood.
Yes.
So a top 10 is going to be forfeited here as Lester limps around to the garage area. That's very unfortunate for him too.
Yeah, big hit.
So Bruce, the only thing he's got to watch out for is himself, the walls, and any lap traffic right now. One could say that I've done more harm to myself than anybody else, so I think that's the only concern for Darren right here.
Darren's on cruise control, man. He's just out here picking them up and putting them down. 7.5 seconds back to second place. 10 laps to go. Keep the fenders on it.
In a battle for 13th here is Sheffield trying to run down Todd the Toad Man Gilly. You see there a little wiggle from the Kailu glass machine.
One of our title sponsors.
Absolutely. Go check them out on Facebook for all your blown glass needs.
Puff, puff, pass, Dean.
I refuse.
Selfish.
Puff, puff, and puff again. That we cut a little glimpse of Sheffield maybe losing it there, but it looks fine.
7 to go here.
7's the magic number. 7 is the amount of seconds between our top 4 or 5 cars, as they have all found their own place on the track here. Bartel is about 1 second behind George Leal for 4th place right now. Leal did a nice job. I think he kind of outmaneuvered TJ on that run.
Yeah, I believe he did.
Claus, we talked about, very solid run. And, you know, I want to shout out Whitford too. I mean, that car was not handling great. He was struggling. He's in 7th place here. That's a great run.
Really nice recovery. Yeah, we kind of counted him out earlier in the race. It's been a nice rebound. Something to be proud of here for the 42.
Yeah, I mean, that's a championship thing, right? You start saving runs that you could finish 12th, 15th, or even 20th, turning them into a 7th place finish. Love it. Ripka back in 8th right now. Helm hanging on to a top 10. He's done a good job of staying up here. Gay now in the top 10. Good to see William out here and getting himself a top 10.
Yeah, we hadn't talked much about William, but you know, he's been kind of a part-time driver here, but doing really well tonight with a top 10 run.
Certainly is. Brantley, he's up a couple of spots. Quiet night for him in 11th. Quiet night at Dover is a good night.
Yeah, if all your fenders are on it, you've done something nice.
And it looks like they are. Good looking paint there as well. Ledford in 12th. And then we're back to Sheffield and the boys. But the story here tonight is the 15, Darren Bruce, in that SH8 shifter machine.
Tell me more, Dean.
Love it. Love the shifter. You can go sequential. You can go H pattern. The mechanics are top of the line. The price is near the bottom of the market. You can get it customized. I have one. I love it. Go get you one.
And that is what we call a softball pitch in the industry. Final lap in for Darren.
Yes, sir. White flag is out. The 15 here conquering the monster. The monster could grab him in 3 and 4. We'll stay with him and see. But it's
jinx.
It's been smooth sailing for Darren Bruce. The 15 will come out of 4, and he will win the Monster Mile 160. What a job for Darren Bruce.
Yeah, great run there. Even though Dean tried to booth jinx him to the best of his ability, I'm telling on you.
Don't tell my secrets.
He's going to watch it back anyways.
Newton 3rd. There's Leal coming around. He'll grab 4th. Bartel grab 5th. And Claus Williams, the only other guy in the lead lap, will come home in 6th position. Wow. What a night for Darren Bruce.
Really put it up and never let it go. That's a great run.
Just so impressed with the run. I mean, it's unbelievable. This is a good field he just put to shame.
Sure is.
We're awaiting any burnout or anything else from the 15. You know, lots of guys are putting down some stuff here. I'm not sure Darren is not going to put anything down as he slams it into the wall a couple of times. So
Tore up that man's race car.
I mean, you know, I don't want to say anything, Darren, but you can't pretend like you meant that. Darren.
Could be the whiskey happening there.
It could be. I mean, it's a happy man, right?
It's
you don't
a good
even
happy
care about
whiskey
his
moment,
truck
yeah.
anymore. He, you know, we'll put another one out at the next race. But man, what a race by him.
F it.
Let's go ahead and look at our results here on the night. Some guys beyond the top 6: Whitford, Ripka, Helm, Gay, Brantley, Ledford, Sheffield, Gilly, Jackson, Travis. I mean, those are about the guys who finished here. Lester, a late problem, takes him out of a top 10. Spear with that unfortunate situation. I mean, he looked like he was going to have a good finish as well. It wasn't meant to be. Some other guys down here. Reiner was good early. Suggs had an early problem. Always sad to see some of the problems. But Darren Bruce grabs this one. Right now, we'll take a short commercial break. We'll come back. We'll get some race interviews done. Back here at Dover, Darren Bruce, your race winner here this evening. Check it over at YouTube land. Thanks everybody for the comments and the shoutouts, except for you, Jason Spear, telling us not to try math. How dare you?
Well, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong, and sorry about your race here tonight, Jason. You look good out there, but yeah, you're probably right. We should probably stay away from math, Baron. And Darren's still out here doing burnouts. I mean, let's get this thing down and see. He's still putting that car to the test out here.
Well, get him in the booth. Let's talk to him.
All right, let's start in on our race interviews here. We bring in the Bulldog, Adam Newton, last year's champion, looking to become this year's champion with the third place finish here tonight. Congratulations, Adam.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about it, Adam. I mean, early on, looks like you're running your line as usual, and the car's kind of going away on you, and you had to go searching for some gripper. So this is what it looked like. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I could compare the truck to driving a Honda Civic with no springs. It wasn't that I was
Did he just
really
say
looking for
a Honda
grip.
Civic without spring?
Yeah, that's exactly what it felt like.
That's great.
I've got to be nice to iRacing, but
I mean,
yeah,
I want to know how you would know that.
That is the goddamn funniest.
Yeah. Driving a Honda Civic with no strings down a dirt road is what it felt like.
All right. So tell us about getting here into third. The first run obviously wasn't suiting you with your Honda Civic and all, but you regrouped, right? And this is what you need to do out here. What'd you change? What'd you change in your racing line?
I didn't nothing, and that's the darnest thing. I had the tire light warning come on with like 20 laps to go, and I'm like, I'm not even driving this thing hard. And I mean, it's good to have luck on my side. I'm sorry that Brandon spun out and George, but sometimes it's good to reap the benefits of some other people. But I needed it to get back ahead.
Yeah, and you've done that, right? You were already ahead after last week, but now you've opened up a nice little gap. Not many left to go here, Adam. I mean, how much focus are you putting into this championship?
A lot. I mean, I'd like to be a 2-time champion so I can, brag about it in our little group. But it's hard to win these things. I mean, to win the last championship, after all the adversity and the computer mess, and I mean, that was like winning the mega millions on the lottery. But yeah, it's tough.
It is tough. You're tough, though, Adam. I thought you did a hell of a job adjusting out here. What else happened tonight during your run? Did you get loose at all? Did you hit the wall at all? How was pit road entry? That looked a little nasty trying to get on pit road for some guys.
I don't know if you caught it, but I actually somewhat wrecked coming in that last pit stop, and it didn't give me no damage or anything. But pit road was just like driving on ice. I mean, the for a concrete track, I've never felt the setup in this, you know, capacity ever. It felt like the truck was just absolutely on top of the track and never got in it.
Yeah, definitely. You could see that out there. A lot of people almost opting out and pitting, 30 laps in and just saying, I'll just take tires and have some fun tonight. You chose the hard way, Adam. You did it. You got yourself a podium finish. You open up your points lead. So, all in all, a great night for you on a night where maybe you didn't enjoy the truck that much. So, congrats on your hard work out here. You got the points lead. And we'll turn it over to you, brother. Whoever you want to shout out or any sponsors you have.
Yeah, I thank y'all for doing the broadcast and all the guys with RGR, and thank teammate Darren. Congratulations on his big win tonight. That was an ass whipping and a half. Um, and Greg, did his part. He didn't wreck me this time at Dover. Um, I had to throw that out there for the big dog. But no, seriously, thank Mama Jeans and all their support, and Scott for doing the paint job on these beautiful trucks that we get to show week in and week out. And keep Susan in the prayers. Think about Bernie tonight. He wasn't feeling too hot. And still remember all the folks down in the mountains in Georgia and South Carolina and Florida. They're still having a hard time, and pray that things get better for them. And glad to see George got back home safely after helping all those folks out.
All right, Baron. That is the big hearted Adam Newton, number 2, your points leader, finishing third here this evening.
Yeah, solid run, good looking car, great man, and we really appreciate his efforts tonight. But I'm with the second place finisher tonight, Greg Ratliff. Greg, you had a hell of a night tonight. Tell us about your evening.
Yeah, man, it's been a while since I've been in the booth with you guys. I've been getting stomped on. No, I had a good run. The truck felt good to me. I didn't have anything for Darren and Brandon, but yeah, it was just everything went well for me. No mistakes.
Early in the night, Greg, we saw you absolutely sideways. This thing was as wrecked could be, and you didn't manage to pile it up. Tell me about that incident.
I think it was that pretty early in the race there. Paul Travis was behind me.
Sure would. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I wasn't expecting. I was trying to settle in there and just kind of start backing the corners up, and I don't think he was quite ready for that, and he got a little piece of me, and yeah, I was lucky to hang on to that. That wasn't skill, that was luck.
Well, you drifted 2 turns pretty solidly.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a save, so great job. You get the Good Hands Award tonight. Greg, second place finish tonight. Who you got to thank for your efforts?
Well, thank you guys in the booth there, Wind Tunnel TV, and I want to thank all of our sponsors, Affordable Construction Services and Alive Church, and with Mike Brown. And Jason Brantley with East Coast Printing, he's putting some money in sponsoring us, and we sure appreciate those guys. And then just everybody, all the drivers that participate in with us here at RGR, and yeah, just that's it, bud.
Well, congratulations on your second place. Greg, it's been a pleasure talking to you. We want to see you in the booth a little more often tonight. Dean, second place finisher, Greg Ratliff of the number 5 truck.
Yeah, it looks like he's on his way back to finding that dominant form that he had, but I've got the 15, Darren Bruce. He found his dominant form here this evening. Darren, my goodness, putting it to him out here. Congrats on this victory.
Hey, thanks, man. We kind of got in the zone there, and it just, I think I've said it before, once you get out front of that clean air and get in that zone, it's kind of like running downhill.
Well, I gotta ask, Darren, it wasn't a bourbon-fueled zone, was it? Okay, we'll move on to the next.
Kind of more than the vodka flavor tonight.
Attaboy.
10-4. We like to talk about those type of things. But you absolutely look like you were in the zone. So tell us a little bit, if you don't mind, about maybe some secrets around here. I mean, looked like you were running the traditional line as I see it, just low and smooth. What were you doing that allowed you to be so special here this evening?
I was getting off early and getting in it late. We started out knowing we was going to try to make it on two stops, knowing we had to start saving gas from the get go. I kind of ran Brandon hard there and got out in front of him, there off the get go. And as soon as I got around him, I just started backing it down. And I guess he did too. And we just kind of held it there. And it's just like, just got into a good flow there of getting out early and getting on late, keeping it straight. And it just kind of got in the zone, just kind of stayed there.
Yeah, I mean, it's Dover's like that. You have rhythm, and being out front is a little helpful. And you got a little late help too. As Sheffield had a little problem on pit
Yeah,
road
I hate
there.
that. I hate that. Was having a good race. I hate he had that problem.
Yeah, definitely. But let's talk about pit road for a minute. We've touted you as a great pit road guy. We touted Newton as one. We've touted a couple others as one. And then Sheffield was the guy the last, little while. And on the first pit stop, he come out in front of you there. What happened, Darren?
Um, he pitted the lap before I did. He had a lap on new tires to get ahead of me there.
Okay, well that makes sense, but he pushed it a little bit further at the and had a little boo boo on pit road. That happens when you're trying for those spots. How tricky was it for you down there on pit road?
It was very tricky. I couldn't believe I didn't get a speeding penalty on that first stop. I later in there on that first one, I was several miles an hour over the pit speed limit there, and the second one I was about the same way, and I got to apologize to William Gay. I kind of ran into the back of him getting in the pits. When you're on the old tires and they're slick and you're already committed to that speed, you're kind of just along for the ride after that, hoping you get slowed down. And he was going a little bit slower than I was, and I got into him going in. I want to apologize to him for that.
Well, Darren, I think we can add Dover to the list of tracks you love now. Is that
I
correct?
do. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, you were obviously good out here. You dominated here tonight. It was thrilling to watch you work and get around this track. Virtually, I don't think I seen you get loose. I actually did you get loose at all tonight?
Hardly ever. I was getting ready to tell you, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. I was telling Brian and my teammates there, I was making up my time on exit of 4. I was doing like your old homestead line where you roll the bottom and then kind of drive it straight up toward the wall off the bottom and wait till it makes that last little turn and start straight before you get on the gas. And that's where I was making a tenth here, tenth here, tenth here, and gradually pulling away.
Yeah, oh, that's a great way to describe. But here, I mean, with the car being so loose, I guess that would work. Get that 45-degree angle, get that car pointed that way, and you just drive it right off. But you did it all right tonight, Darren. Congrats again on this victory. We'll turn the mic over to you, brother. Anybody you want to shout out?
Yeah, thank you guys for doing the broadcast. I want to thank our sponsors, Affordable Construction Services, the One Church, Todd, George, them guys, Jason does the league, Spear teammates, Jason Spear. We got another trophy for the Spear Showcase. I got to give a shout out to a buddy of mine, Reggie Evans. He got me started in this iRacing, and we've been chatting a lot this week. And I started out on the old Dirty South racing team with Reggie, and he kind of showed me the ropes. And I want to give a shout out to Reggie. And I always want to thank my wife Leah for letting me do this. And we got a son that's got some health issues. She's down in Alabama with him, staying with him. She's been with him for a week, and hoping she'll get to come home soon. And Louis Lombardi, man, we hope you get to feeling better, man. We're saying prayers for you, and want to say hi to my grandkids.
All right, Darren Bruce down in Victory Lane, putting on a show here this evening.
Dominant Darren tonight. Yeah, put it to him from the green flag to the check. That's a great run. You can't do much better than that, can you?
I don't think you can. I mean, it would be hard to improve on that, but of course, we got next week. Maybe he can. Who knows? We get all the coverage here, the RGR Racing League and this ACS, that's Affordable Construction Specialist, the Truck Series. Come check us out every Thursday, 9:10 p.m. But for myself, Dean Doucette, for Mr. Bear and the Bosco, that's going to wrap it up from the Monster Mile. We'll see you right here next time.